Hello my fellow R's and welcome back to another episode of A View from the Loft post-match review with me, P-Block Scudze, and wow, just wow. So not only did we beat Millwall, we beat Millwall 4-3 and we played like we were, going after the playoffs. It was an unbelievable game. And it was so enjoyable to watch for a change rather than some of the crap that we've been seeing so far since this season's restarted. But yeah, it was a brilliant game for the R's, as you'll see from the highlights. And I can't get over it. We played well and we won. But being QPR, of course, we still made it hard for ourselves. So anyway, before we get into the highlights, let's have a look at the starting 11 and then we'll get into the highlights and then look at the stats and then the players' ratings. So here is how the starting 11 looked. Basically, there was only one change, and that was Shadipo coming in for Bright Asai Samuel. Asai Samuel is possibly going to Club Bruges, so that's why he wasn't even named amongst the substitutes. And due to the fact that Hugill, Rangel and Wallace are all injured, it meant we could only name 6 subs. So it was always going to be a tough ask, but as you'll see in the highlights, we didn't do too bad. So here we are, let's check out the highlights. Okay, so first up, straight into it, our goal from Connor Masterson. Great save from the keeper, but well done to Masterson there for smashing that ball home. True defender style that was, the way he just sort of latched at it. But yeah, it was a good corner, and we've definitely been threatening a lot up until this point. And also, it was great to go in, obviously 1-0 at half time. That always puts you in a good stead for the second half. This was in the second half. Matt Smith had just come on, one of our old strikers. 5 minutes in, he does that, smashes the ball into the back of the net. It was just so typical that one of our ex-strikers, would come back and score against us, but not even halfway into the game. In terms of his playing time, it was the fact he'd been on the pitch for 5 minutes and he scored. It was just going to be another one of those days. Well, that's what we thought anyway. And then literally minutes later, again, another great bit of build-up play. They got it out. Right man just looked up, bosh. And what a goal. I mean, that was amazing shot. And to me, he hadn't really played well in the first half. So to get that goal, I thought, that was obviously going to be a confidence booster. But their keeper, he should have done so much better with that. From another angle, the ball basically went straight through his hands, and really sloppy goalkeeping on Millwall's behalf. But yeah, great to see Ryan Manning get on the score sheet again. And also, not long after this goal, he actually had a similar shot in a similar position, and it hit the bar. He was really unlucky not to get 2 in quick concession. And this was brilliant, a brilliant touch there from Chair, and then Easy, just cool as you like. At that angle, I didn't think he could get it in, but obviously, this is Easy. He does it all time and time again when he wants to, and that's the Easy we've been missing recently. The guy who's scoring the goals and that. But no, well taken goal, good build-up play as well. And a 3-1, it was unbelievable. We haven't been in this position for a very long time. This is then their second goal. Really sloppy from our part. Header at the near post. Three of our players were on him and couldn't stop him heading it into the back of the net. And it was a little bit unnerving because just before this corner, Chair had a really good chance that he scuffed. And somebody else had a chance as well. Basically, we should have been 5-1 up at this point. So when they pulled it back to 3-2, yeah, as always, squeaky bum time. And thankfully, this happened. Great ball from Don Ballwheel. Look, first time, and then Kane. What's he doing there? And oh mate, what a header! What a header! I mean, great for him as well. First goal for the club. But yeah, way he come flying in there. At first, I thought he'd headed it straight to the keeper, but somehow it went in the back of the net. Still couldn't quite get over that one. But yeah, really pleased for Todd Kane for getting that. But it does go to show how bad Millwall are if Todd Kane's scoring against them. And then this was Millwall's third goal. Really unlucky with this, as you can see, he's hit it, deflection. Lumley can't do nothing about that. Yeah, but again, it's unnerving because even at 4-3, I mean, there wasn't long to go at all. But it was six minutes added time. Excuse me. And so at that point, you think, right, come on, just see out the rest of the game. And then the one highlight that they didn't show was Millwall scoring an offside corner. They'd actually already scored one in the second half that was deemed offside. It did look offside in the replays. I think that was at 3-2. And then literally the last minute of the game, they got a free kick on the edge of the box. They whipped it in, and they had an unmarked man who headed it home. It was going to be 4-4 at the very last kick of the game. And thankfully, the linesman put his flag up, and rightly so, because if you look in the replay, he was offside. But yeah, thankfully, we managed to hold on, and it finished at the QPR 4, Millwall 3. Now we've just watched some lovely goals and an action-packed game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats from the game. So as you can see, possession was quite tight in this game, but I mean, look at the shots, 22 shots in total. I think compared to the other games, you know, that's the amount we've had so far. But yeah, 11 on target, 5 off target. So yeah, you could tell that we've really actually given it a go in this game, and also what we're scoring 4 goals. And then quite a few corners for both teams. Passing was quite good as well today, so yeah, that's pleasing stats right there. And thankfully, no offsides. Thankfully for Millwall, they had 4 offsides, 2 of them being disallowed goals. And boy, oh boy, was that, you know, that was too close for comfort. Tackles, both teams putting a lot of tackles, and yeah, again, the aerial duels was down, but I suppose we haven't really had, you know, the height in the team at the moment, so I don't think we're going to be winning much more in the air other than that. Fouls, we did actually commit a lot of fouls, but in the end, doesn't really matter. No one got sent off, no one got a yellow card. So, with those stats, let's go and check out my player ratings. Joe Lumley. Lumley, I gave a 7. I thought for the most part he had a really good game. He did make one mistake though in the first half, which almost gifted them a goal. Came out for a cross, completely missed it, and luckily it came off the Millwall player and hit the post and came away. And also I felt like he could have done better with their second goal, but other than that, yeah, it was not a bad game for him. Osman Kakai. Kakai, I gave an A. Another brilliant game from him. He really showed his worth when getting forward, and I thought he did quite well defensively, so yeah, really good game from him. Connor Masterson. Masterson, I also gave an A. I thought again he had a really good game defensively, made a lot of good clearance and a lot of good tackles, so yeah, really impressed with him in this game. Johan Barber. Barber, I also gave an A. I thought he had a really good game in terms of his blocks and his clearances. Defensively, I think it's been one of his best games so far for us. Ryan Manning. Manning, I also gave an A. Again, he did really well defensively. First half, I thought he made a few mistakes which did let him down, but he made up for it in the second half with that brilliant goal and also hitting the bar with another shot. Yeah, second half, he really turned it around and became one of the best players on the pitch. Dominic Ball. Ball, I gave a 9. I thought he was exceptional in this game. He also assisted for 2 of the goals, and especially Kane's goal. That was a brilliant first time cross from him. He had a really, really good game today. He's really turned it around considering the last few games haven't been playing so well. Jeff Cameron. Cameron, I gave a 7. I thought he had an okay game. It wasn't brilliant. Again, too many times he was giving the ball away or he got caught short. So yeah, it wasn't his best game, but it wasn't his worst either. Olamide Shodipo. Shodipo, I gave a 6. I thought he had a very quiet game. He had a really good run at one point, which the defender pulled him down for a free kick. But other than that, I didn't really see much of him in the game or what else he really offered in the attack. Luke Amos. Amos, I gave a 9. I thought he had a really good game. I said the Luton game was his best game for us so far. This game was definitely even better than that. He was sublime today and really helped in terms of going forward with the attacks. Ibira, easy. I gave a 9. Again, another quality game from him. Back to the player that we know and love. I thought he just did so well and really caused their defence problems. Ilias Chair, I also gave a 9. I thought he was exceptional in this game. In the first half alone, they just couldn't handle him at the Millwall defence. They literally did not know how to keep him quiet, and from the word go, he was just working so hard. He was really unlucky in the end not to get a goal when he did have that chance, but no, brilliant game from Elias, and I was very pleased for him. Todd Kane. Kane came on in the second half and scored that super header, so he gets a 7 from me, more so for the goal than anything else. He came on as a right midfielder, and he did an okay job, nothing spectacular, but the goal itself, that was definitely spectacular. Aramide Ote, I gave a 6 again when he came on. He did okay, but nothing really spectacular. I do think he's got a lot more developing to do in terms of becoming a good striker, but he's still young enough, so there's still time for him to progress. So there you go, guys. Those were my player ratings. Do you agree with them, or do you think some are different? Either way, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I still just can't get over the fact that we played really well. And it's kind of sad, really, because that's how we were playing before the lockdown. And it's sad that it's taken us this amount of time to get back to playing like that. The one standout thing for me, though, was obviously that Asai Samuel was missing completely from the team. It looks like he's going to Bruges for a ridiculously low amount, in my view. 4.7 is being thrown around as a rumour. I would have liked to have got at least 8 million for him. I think that's probably the lowest we should be getting for him. But this is QPR. We never seem to do business in the right way anyway, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But I did wonder, with him not being in the team, like how would they cope? How would they react? And it was almost like they reacted that it was better that he wasn't in the team, which does make you wonder. Was he the one that was sort of bringing the team down a bit? I don't know, but yeah. So Chair, I thought had an absolutely outstanding game. He worked so hard from the word go, and Eze as well. Played some brilliant balls. Eze's goal, you see the talent between those two alone. The ball comes over, one touch from Chair straight onto Eze, who does what he does best, makes it look easy. So yeah, how though we weren't 5-1 up at one point, I don't know. But there was those lapse in concentration with their goals. The first goal, Smith was given way too much room to be able to hit that first time. Their second goal, 3 men on their player, and they still couldn't stop him heading it into the goal. And you say they had a couple of disallowed goals due to offside, so we did get lucky in that sense. Because for the most part, we were the better team. Millwall were barely in that game at all. It was only when they made their substitutions in the second half and they got those couple of goals, they had a little bit more belief in them. And they will be absolutely devastated that they didn't get the draw in literally the last kick of the game. But that's sometimes the run of the luck in it. But yeah, I don't think anybody really had a very bad game at all. Say 1 or 2 players I felt like could have got more out of them, but again, it's a weird part of the season. We are using the kids now, and some of them, like Ote for example, I do think will benefit by going off next year to a League One club, and having a bit of loan experience there. But that's providing we can actually get strikers, because if we can't get any strikers, we're going to have to rely on him a bit more. But yeah, the sad thing is as well that because it was the last home game of the season, the weather was brilliant for it, the match was brilliant for it. It was just a shame not being able to be there, because if we had been there, we would have all been absolutely buzzing and it'd have been just an amazing day all round. But yeah, that's a sad state of things. Although they are now talking about letting the fans back into the stadiums in October. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Are you happy about being able to go back in October, or do you still think we should be kept away for a little bit longer? I don't like to get into politics too much, but you know, I think it's something that the fans need to voice their opinions on at the end of the day, because you know I think it has affected games not having the fans in the ground. And I'd love to be back there tomorrow, but obviously it is down to the safety of everybody, like supporters and so forth. But then the other thing now we need to talk about, our last game is away to West Brom. If we beat West Brom, we hand our rivals, that bus stop down the road, a chance to go up automatically. The question is, would you rather lose to West Brom to stop Brentford going up, or would you rather QPR win? I personally said I will never say I want QPR to lose. However, I don't want Brentford going up. So take that from that what you will, because I never said certain words there in a certain order. And the other problem is you've also got those other tourist lot down the road, Fulham. They're up there in amongst it all, and it's just a horrible state at the moment that they're all doing really well. But I think it's safe to say that majority of QPR fans are actually going to be West Brom fans on Wednesday night. So yeah, we can't let them go up. Surely we can't let Brentford go up. Oh, horrible little club. But anyway, guys, I think that's really all I'm going to be able to talk about today, because it's just, there's no negatives. Normally I can run on for ages talking about the negatives, but there were so many positives from that game that I'm happy. I can't believe it. You know, I can't say anything bad about the team. Yeah, okay, we should have stopped them scoring 3 goals, but we also should have scored a hell of a lot more goals ourselves. So, but anyway, I'll leave it at that, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you can keep up to date with all my latest videos as and when they are uploaded to this channel. Also, if you haven't already, go and check out my Instagram. I've got more little videos over there that I take obviously on match days and so forth. But yeah, other than that, as always, come on you Rs.